This episode, you join us right in the middle of us doing our big kitchen diner extension.
A single story extension that will completely transform our small little bungalow into a big family home that we've always dreamed of.
Our plan is to erect this extension and do the work all by ourselves.
From marking out this extension, simple little Pythagoras, yeah. Planning it, digging our foundations, and then to installing a high-end new kitchen in just a couple of months' time, we truly are doing it all.
I can't believe we're actually doing it ourselves. Last episode, you would have seen us tackle our foundations where we dug 1.8 meters deep.
1.8 is there.
Coming across problem after problem.
He has tips.
And finally being able to pour our footings just in time for Christmas.
We have officially made it. So in this episode, we are diving right back into the chaos, and we're trying to use all of this clay behind me here to transform our sloped garden into a beautiful tiered space.
Get ready for the usual mess.
My job today is to be the rubble monkey.
A few heated meltdowns.
Shut up.
And a whole lot of progress.
This is just the beginning of an absolutely wild adventure, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the journey and enjoy this episode. Let's go. So last video we left you in a position where we had laid all of these foundations. We got the pour in and it is now set, and we've got some beautiful flat foundations, some beautiful flat foundations to lay our blocks on. We've had a little bit of a complication this morning, a bit of a big complication, being that it's freezing cold right now and we can't lay blocks when it is freezing because basically the muck will freeze and it will crumble overnight, and then you have to knock it down and relay it all again. So I think we're officially rained off.
Yeah, I think
so we can't start block laying for the next couple of days. Hopefully in this video we'll at least start block laying. I'm feeling pretty disheartened about it. I've been in a great mood about this little complication we've had. There's been no strops had.
Shut up.
So we're moving on to another project today, and that is going to be building a retaining wall out of sleepers because we love digging and we love retaining walls. All right, let me go show you what we're doing. So as you can see, we're on a bit of a slope here. The whole garden's on a slope. Plan is to build a wall about where you're stood there, Nikki, and that's going to be holding back not all of, but hopefully a good chunk of this clay that we load into there. And yeah, we can lay a patio on the top of it, do some stairs in the middle. Bob's your uncle.
Perfect.
I think we should just crack on. You'll understand it as we go. It all starts with some fence posts and some digging.
We're going to do a little digging competition though, aren't we?
4 meters 50, 14 meters 50.
480, did you say?
1450.
Cool. The plan now is to dig 3 holes.
We're digging 3 holes and we're going to have a race. Who do you think wins? Me, Alfie or Nikki?
Me. Money's
on Nikki.
Alf's hole is already dug and now he's digging mine because mine was about that deep by the time we finished. That's Alfie's hole. Harry's hole.
Well, we've got roots, bear that in mind. There's another root. It's all roots. So we're struggling with these holes a little bit. We're digging holes for the fence post, but there's a lot of roots in the way where there are a lot of trees. So they're taking their time, but we've got a few dug now, ready to get some posts in, ready to get some concrete around them. And then we can start building this nice sleeper-edged wall. And as we do this, we're gonna have a fire. So let's have a fire. Save spending money on getting rid of the materials, you can just burn them. Wood only. We're not doing anything illegal here.
For those wondering, the materials we're burning here are from the old shed that we had to demo in order to allow us access from the front of the house.
We're having a burn up.
Now, we had 4 great big panels that needed to be gotten rid of. And after peeling off anything that didn't look like wood, we were able to burn the whole shed in just a couple of hours, freeing us up a ton more usable space to be able to work in.
The boys have that fire going pretty good now, so it's time to give them a little bit of food. I was expecting a Tesco shop this morning and it never came, which is very odd. So I'm trying to salvage stuff we've got from the fridge. So I've got some oranges, I've got some pita bread and hummus. And I've got a few pastries from the freezer. So not the most nutritious thing in the world, but at least the boys are gonna get fed.
We've been calling Alfie and Harry the beavers recently because it seems that all they've been doing is digging holes. And you can see just how knackering this really is, because it's currently -1 outside and Harry is in a t-shirt. Right, let's set up this mixer. I might need some help popping this on. Not many.
Put your mind in neutral and just go.
Yeah, don't think about it, just do. Right, I just spent the last 10 minutes making a gap between here because obviously we got this delivery today and now we have no space to wheel a wheelbarrow down to the back of the garden, which is very silly. So I've had to move about 80 blocks and now I can move the ballast from the back of the van to the back of the garden. Let's go.
Sometimes it really is all in the prep work, because once the holes were dug and the concrete is made, it is finally time to start installing these posts and getting them in place. And we had a bit of a system to this. One of us would hold the fence post in place, continuing to check its plumb, the other would shovel the concrete into the hole, and the last would be getting another load of concrete ready for the next fence post to go in. Normally, I hate mucking because it's seriously labour intensive, but weirdly today I was enjoying it because it was keeping me super warm, and sometimes it's quite nice to know your job for the next couple hours, switch your brain off and just crack on with it. Just like our neighbour was saying earlier, if you put your mind in neutral with these physical jobs, they really become so much more doable.
Right, it is 10 to 4 now, and we are absolutely knackered, it being our first day back on site. The boys are just finishing up 4 of the posts, which means we can build the sleeper walls up a bit and then have somewhere to move at least half of this clay. But then I think that means if the weather is okay, we will be bricklaying on Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow. So that's very exciting. But anyway, I'm gonna sign us off here and I will see you in the morning. Night.
That fire we had yesterday was actually unreal for 2 reasons. It got through so much rubbish wood that we had left over, and it also kept us super, super warm while working. So I'm gonna try and get another one going today, because it was a vibe. So it is officially another day on Project Retaining Wall at the back of the house. Now, this wall is eventually going to look beautiful, I promise you. We've got good plans for it, but right now it's just about getting the groundwork done. We've got to dig a few more fence posts and then dig it up to the middle point of the wall, which is where we're going to have some beautiful wide steps coming down to the rest of the garden. So the plan for the day is just to grind out, dig into more holes, getting all of these sleepers up, getting a nice damp-proof membrane on the back of it so it lasts forever. And yeah, really building today. Like, it's a more actual hardcore building. Straight back in at the deep end. No block laying yet today, but hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather looks good tomorrow. So onto the blocks tomorrow. Anyway, let's crack on with this mega DIY.
Right, we've got a load of rubble behind where the boys are working, and my job today is to be the rubble monkey and get all of that gone and into the skip, which is at the top of our driveway. So I'm going to do that now.
I couldn't speak. I met that girl last night, and he shook my hand in the end and said, "You ain't got to what you gonna do about it?"
Go on, boy.
I'm gonna hit that bottle.
Right, we're doing some more ballast so we can create some more concrete to put some more fence posts in. I just feel like we're doing a lot of hard labour today and yesterday. But that's what we love doing, apparently.
Shoveling non-stop today and yesterday has meant that we've been sleeping like babies every night. Although at this point, on day 2 back after a good 2 weeks off, our bodies were fully aching. It's crazy how in just a couple of weeks you can completely lose the strength that you built up over months of creating it.
Just watering my cement. Okay, so it's officially time for me to get back in my favourite toy, the digger, because as you can see, we've got a whole lot of clay to be cleared. Let's start moving this and backfilling this wall just a little bit without putting too much pressure on it until everything is set and happy. Let's go.
Right, me and Alf are now getting all these sleepers on here. And we're either going to do it 4 high or 6 high, because we do want this retaining wall to take a lot of this clay, because there is so much mud. The guys are behind me and they're talking about the grand staircase that we're going to have in the middle of these 2 retaining walls and kind of the way in which we're going to do that. And they're kind of debating between blocking and rendering or doing sleepers for stairs. If you guys have an opinion, put them down below in the comments, because we would love to hear your thoughts.
Now that the first row of sleepers are in, the others are flying up. And this really is a satisfying job, seeing its progress right in front of your eyes. We also made sure to stagger the sleepers to give it more rigidity, as well as to make it look that bit nicer. As you can see, the night was drawing in, so we had to call it a day there, ready to continue with this mammoth project tomorrow.
Okay guys, I've got another riddle up, and it is: what do you throw out when you want to use it, but take in when you don't want to use it? I'm gonna put a little clue down in the description below for some of you guys that can't get it. I'm sure loads of you will comment know what it is. If you do know what it is, do make sure you're commenting down below, because it's so much fun and I like to see how many of you are getting it right. It took me ages to get this one, and it took you really quick. So I think it just depends on how your brain is wired with certain things. Anyway, if you know the answer, pop it in the comments below. It's a new day and the boys are doing some more hole digging. Saj is here today and it is going to be a competition like it was yesterday.
Put some music on and we'll do musical statues digging. We have to freeze in the top. Alf is mid-beavering in the bottom of the artwork. Oh Alf, the whole video yesterday is just your arse, I swear. Again, you've got your bright orange boxes on, mate. You went bright orange yesterday.
To the camera right at arse height, like I'm always bending over doing shit.
You just get to a level of hardship, I think. Yeah, we could do with getting them legs out first. 3 Musketeers! Back at it again.
New year, new us. Me up with 2.
You can do, mate, just do one. It's just like, just gonna hurt yourself. We got a long day ahead of us. Yeah. It's a marathon, not a sprint, mate. It goes without saying, I'm so grateful to have these boys helping us here today. We're getting so much work done. Having 4 people on site is double the speed of just having me and Nikki. And when you bear in mind Alfie's experience and speed at building, it's about 3 times the speed. So, cracking on with some DIY, but very grateful for these boys for helping us out. What a great team we make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meh. Alright. I'm doing it.
I'm editing today, which means it's a chicken day for the boys, so I'm going to put a whole chicken in again. It's my thing at the moment, I love it. So basically I'm going to put the whole chicken in, then I'm going to make them like chicken sandwiches for lunch, and then we'll have the rest of the chicken for dinner. So that'll be good, and I think the boys will appreciate it because again, it is -3 today and they are freezing their little bums off over there.
You haven't thought this through.
This does seem like a horrible idea. One barrow down, 8 to go. So you might be able to see the shape of the stairs taking place behind me now. It's all starting to come together a bit. So we're going to have one wall on this side here, and then one retaining wall on the other side there, and some nice big grand steps in the middle. Exciting times, we're getting through it. It's a grueling bit of groundworks, but we're enjoying it. It warms you up hella fast. On that note, I'm getting cold again, so let's get back to it.
Now it's time to put our focus back onto the left side, whilst the concrete for the fence posts dry. We're aiming to have these walls 5 sleepers high, low enough to be able to see over them, but also high enough to be able to match the existing ground height closest to the house. Tomorrow, we'll be able to replicate exactly what we've done on this side, and neaten the whole thing up a bit. It will be interesting to see how much of this original mound of mud will have been used up from building these walls. I'm really hoping it's most of it, otherwise we need to work out what to do with the rest.
So we're in a bit of a race against time today because we're going skiing tomorrow.
Yay!
So we're going snow skiing tomorrow, so that means that today we've got to kind of get this wall near enough finished off We've got to backfill it a bit with the digger because we need to send the digger back today, otherwise we're paying for an extra week's hire for no reason.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of crushed for time today. We're not going to get it all done.
Yeah.
I've kind of accepted that.
Sorry in advance for the shit filming, especially because our camera has broken, so we're using a very old, shitty camera right now. I don't know if you can tell.
We've got a new one on order though, so we will be back to better video quality.
Yeah, after this one.
Next episode.
Right, cut them sleepers, baby.
Cut them sleepers.
I'm just putting some extra screws in where we need more. And then Harry is moving some stuff behind me now, putting the clay into these retaining walls we've made. And then we've got to do the job of getting the digger back up that ramp because it needs to go back because it's costing so much to keep it. And hopefully next week we'll be doing our extension, so we won't need it for a little while. Yeah, it's been a bit of a stressful week. Just because things don't go to plan how you want them to when the weather acts up. But whatever, we're going to get this extension up hopefully next week and things are going to be okay. Nothing's that deep, so yeah.
Now that all of the sleepers are up, we can finally start to properly backfill these sleeper walls with this incredibly thick muck. Overnight it rained seriously heavily, so this muck is just super thick and claggy. And unfortunately that did mean that we did get the digger stuck a little bit for a good couple of hours. Luckily we did manage to get the digger unstuck, although we didn't get to film this as we were pretty over it by then.
It's gonna go, I can't do anything. It's gonna tip, yeah. I can feel it.
Harry also managed to get the digger the most part back up the ramp until he just reached the top and the sleepers on one side started to slip. Today really has felt like one of those problem days, a pretty rubbish day if we're being completely honest.
I'm tired and I'm fed up.
Problem after problem after problem.
There is a lot of problems. We don't want to be that complaining couple on YouTube because no one likes complaining.
I don't care anymore.
And the thing is, we do really enjoy what we do, but when things like this happen, and like you've got a digger on a tilt, on a ramp that is currently crumbling away, it's like, how did I get here?
But let's try and focus on the good things that we have done this week. Hopefully you guys can start to see what we're aiming for with this back garden. 2 symmetrical sleeper walls with a grand staircase 2.4 metres wide in the middle. It was really hard deciding exactly where to place these stairs, with the house already not being symmetrical and with the addition of an extension going up on the right hand side. But now I'm really happy we chose to place them centrally. From back here I think it will look super grand, and once everything is turfed and patioed and polished, this garden is hopefully going to be spectacular. So now you guys can really see what our back garden is going to start to look like.
It's exciting times. I mean, obviously this week's been a little bit disappointing for us both because we haven't been able to lay any blocks, which is really a bit disheartening.
It is disheartening, and some footage you guys didn't see was Mickey the Bricky came around twice to come talk to us about it, and also to tell us that, you know, we can't rush these things and we couldn't have laid this week.
It's one of those things, we've got so many jobs to do here, so as you can see, we're taking on another this week. But next week, back to extension. I want to get this thing bricked up, dry in the next month.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want a kitchen by the end of March.
We're crazy.
Maybe end of Feb, actually.
Anyway, as always, thank you guys so much for supporting us on this journey. You guys really make this channel what it is, so we appreciate that.
Make sure you have liked and you have subscribed because it does really help support our channel, as you guys know, and we will see you next Sunday.
Bye, have a good week.
Bye.